Hi, I'm Keith Allen, and I play Murphy on Z Nation, and I listen to One Up Gaming Podcast.
I bang with One Up Gaming, drop more hits once I'm famous. The best, that's what our aim is. All platforms, what your game is. To the leaderboards, I'm coming. See me in a shooter, I can promise I'll be gunning. When I hit the music charts, I swear I'm gonna run it. Contain One Up, you can try, but we done it. Let's go. Alright, let's go to the best place for reviews I know. Xbox One and PS4, Wii U as far as consoles go. They do handheld PCs, merchandise for you and me. Contest that you gotta do, the prizes are for gamers who going hard all day. We really the boys cause you're just that great. Can't lose, there's too much at stake. You're a certified badass when you play.
I bang with One Up Gaming. I bang with One Up Gaming.
I bang with One Up Gaming, drop more hits once I'm famous. The best, that's what our aim is. All platforms, what your game is. To the leaderboards, I'm coming. See me in a shooter, I can promise I'll be gunning. When I hit the music charts, I swear I'm gonna run it. Contain One Up, you can try, but we done it. Let's go. Go hard all day. Contain. Go hard all day, man.
Black, they can't be
I can
human.
find you a pig that looks like a human. It doesn't mean it's human.
And on that is
went
One
on
Up
a
Gaming.
weird. That went on a weird note. Where the hell did you find that pig?
I'm serious.
A pig that
That's
looks
not
like a
even
human
joke. That's a
being.
thing. That's a thing. A pig that looks like a human being. It has
You're
a man's
derailing
face.
the argument. You're derailing the argument here.
Oh, this is called a tangent. You're gonna love these. This is what
I can't believe more than anything you've never heard of a kiwi.
I've never seen. I didn't honestly. I didn't know. One, I didn't know you had a national animal. And for 50% of the
everyone
conversation, 50% of the conversation, I thought you were Australian. And
That's just wow.
oh, I'm terrible. But it's I didn't even know a kiwi was a thing. I thought a kiwi was a fruit. Because a kiwi
No.
is a fruit.
Yeah, there's a
It even
kiwi
looks
fruit.
like a fruit.
There's a
A
kiwi,
kiwi
fruit.
bird looks like a kiwi. A kiwi bird looks like a fruit.
There's
What the
a
hell?
kiwi fruit. It's called a kiwi fruit. It's called the fruit isn't called a kiwi. It's called kiwi
It
fruit.
is.
No, it's not.
No.
No,
Yes,
the
it
actual
is.
fruit. The actual fruit is called kiwi fruit. It's not called a kiwi.
No,
a
we just call it a kiwi.
No, it's not. That's you're making up words then because you don't pick up a piece of chicken and go, oh, a scabadank. And it's
No,
like,
it's
what?
just-
and
no,
it's
it's
like,
like
what?
a-
No, that's a piece
it's
of
like a
chicken. It's like,
chicken.
no, it's a scabadank, mate.
It's a chicken.
That's
and
the
then,
argument.
this is a kiwi.
Yeah,
a kiwi
a kiwi,
fruit. It's just-
kiwi
we
is
just
a
say
bird.
kiwi.
A
We don't
kiwi
say
fruit
kiwi
is a
fruit.
fruit.
We don't just say kiwi. No, we don't say kiwi fruit. We just say kiwi.
Well, look, I'm going to tell you, Eddie, the British education system is failing you because you know obviously nothing of the
What
fucking world.
education system? They put us in a small room and throw a book at us and say read. There is no
Exactly.
education system.
And you didn't read it, did you, Eddie? You didn't read
No.
about fucking Kiwis.
I
You didn't read
refused.
about the difference between Australian and New Zealanders. You just fucking...
If that was the
just
book
sat
that
there.
they threw at me,
You
yeah,
just sat there
I did read.
twiddling your thumbs doing podcasts.
I used it to make fire. Okay, it was a difficult time.
God. Well, Eddie, this is the first time I've met you, and you've been racist. You have mocked my country. I don't know.
Oh, we're gonna be fast friends. I can feel it already.
Yeah,
This
well,
is
yeah,
gonna be great.
prick.
Oh God, this is great. This is
Anyway,
actually great.
David's
You still
been
sound like
recording
Robert
this for
Hemsworth.
2.5 minutes, so we talk
this
about
is fun.
games and stuff at some point.
At some point, we sometimes talk about games if we feel like it. You still sound like one of the Hemsworths, though. Just wanna.
I mean, even though I'm not fucking Australian, I mean, that's kind of nice, because, it's I don't know why it makes me feel good, but you're like, you sound like someone attractive looking, and I'm like,
Exactly.
oh, so if you sound like that, then you hopefully look a little bit like that, which I don't.
You don't know that. You might at some point. You know.
I look like, I kind of look like Chris Pratt before he got buff.
I don't know why, but that cracks me up.
I'm like his in-between stage when it's like, he's like, I've made some progress, but I'm still working on it.
You're like the before. You're like what's in between the before. And
Exactly. There's like the before and after, and I'm that little awkward stage in the middle, like not ready to take my shirt off yet, but I'm feeling good about the progress.
That is wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. It's great. That's all I need to hear. That's all I need to hear.
So I will just interrupt this part, and we will have Justin with our little advert. So we'll play that now.
Hey guys, Justin here. I wanted to take a minute to talk to you about this thing we're really getting into here at One Up Gaming. It's called the Eagle Box, and it's a tiny Android console that, with a high-quality wireless controller, connects to your TV via HDMI, and then it gives you instant access to all kinds of retro games. It comes pre-installed with Android TV and the movie apps and all the fun stuff like Kodi that you would expect from an Android box. But in addition to that, I mean, this is like me going off and saying, but wait, there's more! It can play PS1, MAME, Dreamcast, N64, Neo Geo, Atari, NES, SNES, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, Sega Master System, Sega Mega Drive, or, Sega Genesis back in the real world, what do you want to call it? Commodore 64, Amiga, ZX Spectrum, I could go on for days with the amount of games that this thing can play. And if, by chance, you happen to run out of memory, it has an expandable memory slot too, so you can keep adding on to your game library if that's your thing. Unlike a lot of these other Android-based consoles out there, it supports up to 1080p. It includes a TV remote, and I can't speak highly enough about this thing. It does everything you'd want it to, and it's a media device too. So if you're into quality retro gaming, and I know Nintendo has this, NES Classic console coming out in November, and it's going to be $60 US or whatever. But you can start now. I mean, you could play these games on your TV right now, rather than having to wait, and probably not even be able to get a unit, one of those NES Classic consoles due to, sheer nostalgic demand. I mean, the pre-orders are going to be crazy. Why go through that when you can get an Eagle Box from One Up Gaming right now and start playing those classic games right now? And then, when you're done playing games, I mean, you could watch movies and do a host of other things, media-related, all in one device. It comes with a wireless controller. It comes with a TV remote. And you can, record live TV if you want. I mean, this is one of these things it does. It's a full media device. It can record virtually anything you want to do on Android, you can do on here, because it is a full Android device. And for those of you familiar with Kodi, it comes with that pre-installed. So, go to One Up Gaming, go to our website, okay? Check it out, and get yourself an Eagle Box. Don't bother going to eBay. Who knows what's going to be there. I mean, you never know what you're getting out of eBay. I mean, how many times have I been burned? I can't even count the times that I've been burned through eBay. But know that you're getting a quality device through One Up Gaming that's going to do all your retro games, and some fairly modern ones too, and all your media stuff too, right in your living room, right now. No need to wait. So, go to the One Up Gaming website, check it out, and I think you'll like it. Anyway, back to the show.
I was waiting for some person named Justin to step in and start selling or something.
It would have been so great. We could do that, but then we'd have to pay said person.
It's like, David,
Yes.
why did you even need to say that? Couldn't you have just slotted it in anywhere?
Well, no, because it'd sound really awkward us talking, and all of a sudden Justin comes on saying, and now the Eagle Box.
You could have been sleeker, though. You didn't have to be like, and now we have a paid advertisement. You
It's
could have
not
been
a paid advertisement.
You could have been like, hey guys, what's Justin saying? Oh, what are you saying, Justin? Well, have you heard about Black? You could have tricked them. You could have made them Justin in the room.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
people know he's from America.
Maybe
He's our voiceover
You're
guy.
right. People from other countries never go anywhere else.
Damn right.
Of course not.
Quickly go
Why
and come
would
back.
they?
All right, please, can someone talk about a video game? Because I'm questioning why the fuck I'm here.
Oh, this is. Oh no, that's fine. I do that all the time. Let's see. Why are we here? What are we going to talk about? Meaning of life? I don't know.
Fucking hell, David, please do something. Take some control. Take some control.
Eddie, what have you been playing this week?
What have I been playing? I have been playing Not much, actually. But what I have gotten to play, I've been playing World of Warcraft because I'm a nerd like that, and Legion, so don't judge me. And I've been playing some Battlefield, getting ready for Battlefield 1. Not even getting ready, just getting used to the controls again.
Which Battlefield are you playing?
I think it's like Battlefield 4 or something.
All right.
I can't even remember anymore. It's one of them. And then I've been replaying the Final Fantasy 15 demo because that's coming out soon.
Which one?
The controls again.
Which one?
The Final Fantasy 15, the demo.
There was two of them. You mean the second one that came out?
No, the platinum. What's it called?
Yeah, the platinum,
demo?
the second one.
Yeah.
I remember there was one that came out before. Yeah.
I don't know. I want to play it. I'm playing it. It's going well. The controls are annoying.
They are, aren't
used
they?
to. Very. But I'm getting used to it at some point. Or I'll try.
Because Final Fantasy 15 looks great, but I played that platinum demo, and I was like, this doesn't feel nice.
No, it doesn't.
Like it all looks cool, like the slashing and the teleporting, like it all looks cool, and the animations are cool. But you know how you just play some games, and you're like, this just doesn't feel nice to control.
Yeah.
For me, the Final Fantasy sort of demo, the second one, it feels like a student's project on the Unreal Engine sort of thing. So, look at this, I made some fancy graphics, but the camera and the movement just feels like a PS2 sort of game.
Yeah, it does. It feels very PS2-ish. That's probably because it's been in development since like beginning of PS3.
Yeah.
They say the same about The Last Guardian. I've been hearing people say they're like, it just controls like a PS2 game with the camera and shit.
Ah, well, I don't care.
Well, that's the thing.
It's not F1 racing.
I love that game.
Yeah, I know you do. That's why I made a joke about it. Anyway, carry on.
Don't get him started on the games he loves. We'll lose every person who listens. But then I'm just waiting for games to come out at this point. That's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for games to come out. I'm waiting for Civilization 6 or Sid Meier's Civilization 6. Yep. I'm waiting for that game. I want it to be good. I'm hoping it's good because it has to be. It has to be because it looks like it has so much promise. It looks like it has so much promise and everything's going to work cohesively and there's not going to be any problems. But, good things never last. And then waiting for Resident Evil, the new one, Resident Evil 7, the Biohazard.
That's like next year.
Calling its actual name. That's in January, man.
Yeah,
that's like a few months.
Yeah.
That's 3 months.
Yeah, it's still 3 months away.
That's 3 months. That's close.
There's so much else coming out before then.
I am hoping to grab Mafia 3 at some point this week, so I can start playing that.
Yeah, I picked that up yesterday.
It looks amazing.
That hasn't. I just don't really feel anything for that sort of series. I enjoyed the first one on the PC. Oh god, that's going back years.
That's like 16 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's
so I was
very old.
19.
Yeah. No, I picked up Mafia 3 yesterday. It's like finally New Zealand got something for once. Like we were the first country in the world to get Mafia 3 for some reason.
Probably heavily edited though.
No, only Australian does that.
Oh, is it Australia that
It's Australia that does that. They censor the fuck out of everything, and then New Zealand used to get like the same ratings as Australia, and then we were like, nah, all our shit's getting fucked up. This is lame. Let's just do our own thing. Australia does that. I don't know why. They censor so much shit.
With knowing nothing about it, I just assumed you guys just got the same as what the Australians sort of got.
We used to. Sometimes we get it different. Sometimes we get it the same. It depends. But no, so got Mafia 3. It's good. It feels good. It's pretty good. It's good. Kind of. I don't know. I need to play more. I played maybe 2 hours of it. And like the Mafia series, the one thing I tell you, they give you a big open world, and it was the same in I played Mafia 2. It was the same in this. There's this big open world. Feels like there's nothing to do in it except play the story. Like they have the story missions, but there's like, and I don't know if I like it or if I dislike it, but it's like you play any other open world game, and there's like a million side quests, a million little activities, a million collectibles. Like some games I like that, like Far Cry, I love going through the map and just like taking down every tower, taking down every base. But then I play other games and I'm like, these side quests feel like pointless. I don't see the point in them. They're shit. They're just here to pad shit out. Hate them. So, like, whether you like it or not, like, Mafia's kind of, like, at this point, 2 hours in, is very, like, there's nothing to do but story missions. But, like, the shooting and the combat feels really good. Like, it feels like... It's like, the actual moment-to-moment gameplay, I'd say, is, like, somewhere a mix between Grand Theft Auto 5 and The Last of Us. Kind of
Two
like...
games I thought was overrated.
Shut the fuck up, David. Jesus. Sit there, honestly, any game that's ever been good, you'd sit there and be like, no, man, I think that was fucking shit. I mean, to be honest.
I've played some amazing games.
Like what?
Sega Rally.
Don't, okay, name a game, name a game that's widely, like, commonly liked, or commonly, like, viewed as, like, fantastic, that you agree with.
We're gonna
That isn't a racing.
That
isn't a racing game. That isn't a racing game.
Well,
Football Manager.
Okay, fuck off. Never mind. Anyway,
God.
it's like, as I say, so the gameplay like feels, it's like GTA-ish, but like the kind of firing a gun and the kind of impact of that gun when you hit someone, or like fighting hand-to-hand combat. Like it feels, it's got a bit of a taste of The Last of Us kind of moment-to-moment combat. So it's good, it's fun, and the story so far seems pretty good. The only thing about Mafia 3, like I'd say, is kind of like is annoying. It's like I feel like these days, like on PS4 and Xbox One, there are so many open world games. Like the same thing with The Witcher 3. There are so many open world games that you chuck in your console, and like there's so much poppin' with graphics. There's so much like one moment you'll be looking at the screen and it'll look amazing, it'll look beautiful, and the next moment like there's all this popping of colours popping out and like objects popping out, and it's because you have to wait for the fucking patch that's going to come in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like that's the one thing I hate these days, is like if it wasn't for that, I'd be like, this is pretty, like there's not much I can pick apart about this. But like so many games these days, it's like, oh, it is fantastic. Just wait a couple weeks for the patch, and then it will be. Anyway, I derailed the fuck out of you, Eddie. Carry on. What are you playing?
Oh no, that was like that. You just like took it away. That was wonderful. That was one. I didn't even have to do anything. That's what I love. But no, I agree with you. Like that, and that's what worries me about a lot of the games that are coming out now. That's why I'm really hesitant, because I hope people have learnt their lesson with No Man's Sky. I hope people have learnt their lesson. I hope it taught them something. Developers don't care. They don't care. As long as you pay them money, very few of them actually give a damn. Especially indie developers, because they literally need to make money or they go broke. So, when the game looks too good to be true, it usually is. It usually is too good to be true. And a lot of these games are looking really nice, really polished. They might not be. They're probably not going to be. So, honestly, we're kind of just going to have to, deal with it, really. Because at this point, all of the games that are coming out now, the game that's coming out closest to now would be, Battlefield 1?
Nah, Gears of War 4.
Oh, Gears of War 4, that's one.
Gears of War 4. 3 days? Yeah.
That game, it looks good. It looks good. And I love the Gears series. Gears of War was the reason I got an Xbox 360 back in the day. I had the PS3, I swapped it for an Xbox 360. And then I swapped back because I'm flip-floppy like that. But, it was the whole reason for me getting that system. And for a Gears game, it looks good. The story looks good. But it might not be. And it probably isn't going to be.
I've heard it's actually fantastic.
Yeah, it might be great. It might be the best
Maybe
Gears
you got a
game
bad
ever.
example.
Can I just say one thing about the Gears of War 4?
Yeah.
From what I understand, it's an amazing Gears of War game. If you like Gears of War.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
I was just a little bit disappointed because when they first introduced Gears of War 4, it was very different sort of feel. It was more survival horror, sort of spooky sort of.
But remember, the first one was
Yeah.
like that. Like people are saying it's very similar to the first one, and like it's your typical Gears of War game, but it does have more of that survival horror feel than like 2 and 3 did.
I don't know, from what I've heard, it's just like it goes over some of the bits that were in 1, 2, and 3. It goes back over the story, so if you don't really know, it fills in the blanks and stuff. And
See, that's one thing though that like you say that you're like, oh, I'm disappointed that there was a bit less of that survival horror and more just the typical Gears of War shooting kind of stuff. That's one, scenario where it's actually not the developer's fault; it's the fans' fault.
yeah, it was
Because
the
I remember that
outcry
first
of
showing.
People hated it.
Yeah, the first showing of Gears of War 4, like the first time they showed the trailer, I thought to myself, I'm like, that looks a bit different. That
Yeah.
looks like something I might want to get into, because I've played all the other Gears of Wars, and I've always just thought, like, they're well designed, but they've just never done kind of anything for me. And I think that's partly because I came into the series quite late. But I saw Gears of War 4 and I was like, that's doing something a little bit different. I like that. And then every single person I watched was like, oh, that demo was really bad. That's going to really hurt them. And I was like, actually, like, as someone who didn't give a shit about Gears before, I do now. But everyone was like, nah, that's terrible demo. Nah. And then they showed, like, a demo of just very, like, repetitive looking, normal shooting combat. And they were like, look, you're in cover and you're shooting. And everyone was like, oh, fuck, oh, wait, what the fuck's going on? I was just like, I've seen that. I've seen that 4 times. Why do I need to see it a 5th?
Yeah. And that's the thing.
Still looks like a cool game.
I want these games. I want these games to be good. I want them to look good. And I want them to play well. But a part of me is telling me to be very cautious with a lot of games that are coming out. Because everyone's very anxious. Everyone's very anxious for all the games that are coming out this year. Well, for the end of this year and the first half of next year. Everyone's very anxious for all of those games because they all look amazing.
I tell you, Eddie, go through
Yeah.
some of the games that are coming out that everyone's going on about. I'll
Okay,
tell you how stoked I am about them.
All right, I'll give you some of the games.
Yes,
All right, Final Fantasy 15,
I could not give a shit.
Battlefield 1.
I could not give a shit.
I think I can see a pattern emerging.
No. If he says it again, I really want, then I will say.
Resident Evil 7.
Sega Rally 19.
Oh, please don't. Please don't.
That's the only thing he's going to give a shit about.
Resident
There's too
Evil,
many.
I was impressed by that teaser demo, and I would like to see where they go further with that.
All right, Watch
Okay.
Dogs 2.
I
That's a nice
hated the
one.
first one.
Titanfall 2.
I enjoyed the first one, but it was... I played it about maybe 3 times and never went back to it.
Last Guardian.
I want to see if it is a train wreck or not, but I'm not that bothered about playing it.
Oh, Horizon Zero Dawn.
That's not this year.
Everyone's going on
Oh,
about
that's next year.
that being a truly
It didn't even
open world
mention
RPG. To me, it looks like Monster Hunter. And I hate
Yeah,
Monster
but
Hunter.
that looks cool to me because I've always looked at Monster Hunter and I'm like, those graphics look shit and it looks way too Japanese. Nah. And now they're like, hey, we're gonna like talk to you Westerners. And, like, it's like Monster Hunter, but like with like Far Cry style, kind of like fucking shit up.
Now, I'm going to contradict myself a bit, because do you know that game that was supposed to come out, I think early next year, but it's been delayed for the full year? Was it Scalebound?
Bloodstained Ritual of the Night.
No.
Oh no, Scalebound.
Oh, yeah.
That looks
Scalebound,
cool.
yeah,
that
yeah,
looks
yeah.
really cool.
To me,
That
that
looks
looks amazing, because it's Monster Hunter, but with the Platinum Games sort of like the...
Combat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
see, here's the
one-on-one
thing, though.
fighting.
I reckon-
Sort of, I love that sort of stuff.
I reckon
Oh,
the
yeah.
dragon part is going to be cool. Like, I reckon having, like, because I think that's the thing. Like, they're going to probably take something like the Last Guardian's AI. Like, because I feel like that's the one thing that you'll be able to take away from the Last Guardian. That the AI of the giant monster thing is, like, really intelligent and really cool. And Platinum is probably going to do something similar where they're like, well, fuck making a game for 10 years, but we've got, like, a similar AI for our dragon. and then you run around and chop the shit out of stuff, and then like you can upgrade your dragon. But I feel like the actual world itself and the story is going to be really boring. I feel like it's just going to be the gameplay that's cool.
Yeah, but I mean, I think if they've delayed it for a full year, I think they showed it off way too early, and I thought it didn't look too bad.
It does look good. It's very promising. It looks very promising.
But for me, it looks like it's a No Man's Sky scenario. It's like I know too little at this point. That like what I've seen, I'm like, that looks awesome. But I know too little, and it's taking too long since what I've seen for me to believe that it's real.
Yeah.
It's like those comparison videos. Like I never thought, like people were saying about No Man's Sky, they were like, "Oh, Sean Murray, Hello Games, fucking liars. They lied to us. Everyone's a liar." I was like, hold on a second. I mean, you're probably being a little dramatic. This is the internet. And then I went and I watched a video which was like No Man's Sky 2014 versus 2016. Dear God, does it look different?
Yeah.
Like it is actually like noticeably very, very different. And I was like, you're right, I haven't seen any giant sandworms. I'm like, that was like the biggest thing as well. I couldn't believe that there was no like, I thought there were going to be forests and I thought there were going to be like deserts. Nah, everything is just the same rocky terrain in a different shade of like colour.
Well, and again, people have to understand, people actually forgot that Hello Games isn't a AAA studio. There's like 5 guys.
Nah, but like they were
Max
misleading.
6.
They were misleading.
Oh yeah, they were 100% misleading. These guys wanted to sell their game. That's what they did.
Yeah.
I will say one thing. I must be one of the only people that actually played the finished game and it exceeded my expectations.
You must have had some of the lowest expectations.
Yeah.
You must have like
I played
like,
that game about 6 months before it was due out, and I thought it was not terrible, but just it had sections of games that wasn't implemented together as a cohesive unit.
I don't know. I bought the finished game. I played it. And I tried to be as fair as I could. I tried to ignore, like, I didn't watch any review scores. I tried to ignore all the people online who said it was shit. And honestly, it was the, like, biggest regret of buying a game that I've had in, like, years. Like,
No, for me, it's Dino Dini's Kickoff Revival. That's a horrible game. I mean, like, seriously, how can you have a football game where you don't even have offside or red cards or yellow cards?
I don't think he knows what offside is. That's why.
So annoying.
I don't think he knows what offside is.
I love how we're like No Man's Sky, misleading advertising. You're like, yeah, but Dino Dini doesn't know how to fucking play soccer.
It's
Well, no,
football.
He might know how to, but the game
Wait,
doesn't.
wait, I need to correct you right now. It's football.
Soccer.
It's football.
Soccer.
It's football.
Soccer.
It's football. But it's football.
It's soccer.
Oh my god. See, this is why New Zealand sticks to rugby. This is why.
Why? Because we thrash you? Because we're way better?
Because you're terrible at football.
Oh no, we are. We are absolutely fucking shocking at soccer.
It's. I hate you so much. It's terrible.
Nah, do you know why it is?
Oh,
It's weird, but even though we're like connected to Britain and like all our fucking government shit and all that stuff, like everyone over here calls it soccer not because of American football and like we like talk about that as football, but because like so much of our television is Americanized, and so they say like soccer, so then we say soccer.
To be fair, all of our TV's now Americanized.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It's just
so,
that
you know.
we've had like all the way from the 30s all the way up, you know, with football.
yeah. Anyway, Eddie,
It's just-
hey, Eddie,
Yeah. Yeah.
hey, have you been playing
Yeah.
anything else this week?
Let's see.
And we don't want to know about any stories with Little Eddie.
That's just terrible.
Like
That's
I've
just
thought about making
horrible.
that joke. I thought about making that joke several times and just thought, nah, we're classier than that. But nah.
We're not. We're not.
I was thinking, we've been doing this podcast
What
for
you
over
were
3
thinking,
years,
You're thinking about little Eddie.
and
This is where the danger comes in. When he starts thinking, bad things happen. And
No, they
you know,
don't.
yes, they do.
when I
Yes,
start
they do.
thinking, things get cut from the podcast.
Exactly. A lot of things. A lot of really bad, racist things. But, you know, it's great. It's wonderful. Oh,
I
This is
just
gonna
keep
go well.
I just keep quiet when the conversation goes in this direction, and just like hope that
You know
if
what it
people
is? You
hear
can't
these
say
parts,
anything.
when it gets racist, they're just like, he left.
I tell you what, Chris, our t-shirt manufacturer, the Blue Cyborg, they must think we're the most racist people going. I sent over a t-shirt design saying, "It's okay, I'm a funny racist."
I told you. Oh my god! How
It
long
got,
have you
it got
had this
declined.
idea? How long have you had this idea? How long have you had that idea? Because I
I thought it was
remember it from
class.
quite some time ago.
Yeah.
I remember from quite some time ago, and we all agreed that's a terrible idea. No one will buy that shirt. Well, actually, no. A lot of people will buy that shirt, but not the right people. Oh my god! We'll make a killing in America though, and like most parts of Australia. But yeah, why not?
Anyway, Chris, what have you been playing this week?
You know what it is? I think Chris is just like nope.
He's walked out of the
just
building.
Like, nope.
He's gone.
You know what it is? This is what I was saying. He can't say much because if he agrees or says anything that might be seen as agreeing with what you're saying, people will forget he's from New Zealand and they'll just think he's Australian and being racist, and it'll just go badly for him. It'll just end him. He can't do this. He's terrible. It's bad enough his national bird is a fruit. Oh God! Hey Chris,
I'm sorry, Chris, are you there?
Chris, football. I just want to put that out there. Please tell me you just close the door. Please.
Is the racism over?
The racism never's over.
It never ends.
I was just like, I'm just gonna leave the bigotry to make a sandwich real quick.
I'm starving.
The sandwich is now racist. But you know,
Actually,
fine.
for my dinner tonight, I got home. I had a lasagna. I like the cheese, is it bechamel sauce, whatever you call it? And then the first layer of the pasta. But I don't like the mincemeat, so that's all I have, and I took the rest out.
I hate like any cheese that has a name.
Cheddar.
Nah, just because cheddar cheese isn't
God.
like cheddar. It's just cheese. It's just like, that's the kind of cheese you have in your burger. That's the kind of cheese you have in your pizza. And then the moment someone's like, you want some blue cheese? Oh, do you want some camembert? And it's like, I don't want fucking shit that has a name. I don't know why. It's just like, it's
What, you feel like
gross.
you're eating a person?
It's
like,
just
Do you
gross.
want Jeff?
It's just gross.
You want some Jeff cheese?
Because I feel like they have to call it something
Close
other than
range.
cheese. Nah, I don't know why. I feel like they have to call it something other than cheese because it's like not even cheese anymore. Because it's like, because you know how they age cheese and shit.
Yeah, it's just mold.
And it's like, I'm like, yeah, and I'm like, oh, it's like so old, it's not even cheese anymore. So they have to call it something else. They have to call it like camembert. And it's like, I don't want to eat that.
I don't know about you guys, but the really strong stuff, when you smell it, it makes me like really want to vomit.
Oh yeah, I can't smell like cheeses without like feeling sick.
It depends. It depends on the cheese for me. Some cheese smells great. Other cheese smells like something crawled in it and died. It's weird.
No cheese smells good. Cheese is just one of those things that's like, it's okay if it's with enough other stuff. But just on its own, it's like when people are like,
Oh God.
I don't know, just on its own, like cheese on toast, it's like, put some pepperoni on that or something, like.
I tell you what, Chris. Do you, in New Zealand, have you had cream crackers and cheese?
Yeah, I know people who do. It's all the British people who fucking come here and do that. It's awful.
I love that. I love that.
No, all the fucking British people come here and they want to eat shit like that, so it's disgusting.
I've never understood it. There's a lot of English cuisine, like just English food, that I've just never understood why people eat it.
Yeah, like
'Cause it doesn't look good.
no New Zealander would eat that, but like people from like Britain, and then they've come here, like taken our land. Like
Again.
they eat that.
It's getting a bit racist again.
That's fine. I'm
We
like,
came-
I'm a descendant.
came-
I'm a descendant of a land taker. So
Oh, it's fine. No, it's great. Like, we came, took your land again. It's wonderful. First you took your land, now we're taking your food.
to be
There's
honest,
nothing
I
we
always
wanna take.
always say this. Like, everyone thinks the Māori. You know who the Māori are, right?
No.
We're English.
Are you-
We don't have history. We don't
are you
learn
s- are you
other countries'
serious?
history.
Have you heard of
Yeah.
it? This is even sadder because you're black.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying.
This is-
Understand that in England, Black History is like 1 month. That like is 1 month, and all
Right.
we learn about is Martin Luther King.
Right.
That's the entire month.
Right.
Like there was this one black guy that
But,
made
like-
a speech. That's it. That's it.
Okay. So there's like a Māoris, right? Māoris. It's like saying mouldy, but with an R and an I at the end. Okay.
Is it like the creature that goes on the ground, the mole, like moles?
That is like so racist. No. Like, just let me try and explain this
Oh
before
my
you get any
God.
more racist.
That's what I thought
And,
you were
like,
saying.
Maori.
I'm gonna just-
Maori.
I'm just gonna Google search.
It's
this
a
real
race
quick.
of people. This is literally a race of people that you're like, oh, are they holes in the ground? Like, no, they're a fucking race of people.
Oh my god.
And I'm not,
Oh my
like,
god.
like the point I was going to make isn't even worth making now because you don't even know who a fucking Moldy is.
No, not really.
It's literally
really.
like being like, hey, I'm from Africa. What the fuck is Africa? Is that like a little village in England?
Honestly, I shit you not. There was a point in my life where I asked the girl, and this girl is an idiot, and I'm sorry, she is. I asked the girl, where is Jamaica? All right, we all know where Jamaica is, right?
Yes.
We all know where Jamaica
Yes.
is. Yeah. She said Jamaica's in Africa, and then it gets better. I asked her, where's Africa? She said the English Channel. I shit you not.
Within
I was
the
depressed.
English Channel, there's a continent.
I was depressed. She thought it was a country. She thought Africa was a country.
That is-
She didn't know it was a continent.
That's the widest channel I've ever heard of.
Oh my god.
I tell you
Anyway,
know, I know
the
who
point
you're
I was
talking
trying to
about.
make, is that Māoris, a lot of people think they're the indigenous people of New Zealand because, you know, they were here before the whites came over basically and took the land, but they're not. And like before them, there were these people, these really tall motherfuckers called the Moriori. And all the Māori, who are like a race of people who live now, like, you guys know what like Pacific Islanders or like Samoans or, you know, have you heard of that before?
Yeah.
Yes.
So the Māoris are like the Pacific Islanders, Samoans who like are from New Zealand,
Right, yeah.
right? So, but they're known as like the indigenous people to like most countries, or they're fucking not known at all, obviously, to other people. But they're not like, so the Europeans weren't the first people to come over and take the land from the indigenous people. There were these people called the Moriori who were really tall, and they said to the Māori, like the Māori like came over on their boats, and the Moriori were like, hey, fuck, nice to meet you, come have some dinner. And the Māori went, sure, and then killed them all, and then cooked them, and ate all of them, and then took all their land.
Jesus.
That's nice.
So the whites didn't do that. We didn't cut up the Māoris and eat them and then take their land. We were just like, here's guns
We got here
and
too late.
no, we got there and we're like, here's guns and rats and see you later.
We got there a little too late. Like, you know what it is? This is how England works, yeah. When we get to a place, we kind of just like slowly take it over. We're just like, you wear our clothes, you speak our language, and now you're part of us now.
Except for the
Forever.
States, you guys are trying to distance yourselves.
Oh no,
from
we just
that.
gave that up. We just gave that.
You
like,
didn't give it up, you lost.
What Americans?
You lost.
No, Americans think that they won that war. We were just like, you know what? We can keep fighting these people, or we can leave them there and go to India and China.
Get all that.
And that
Indian-
didn't turn out well either.
Get all that curry. Bring all
It
those
didn't
curries
turn out well,
back
but we
to
got
fucking
Hong
Britain.
Kong. We got Hong Kong. We're fine. Don't
You
worry
got
about
Hong
it.
mean-
Kong and curry, and like
Exactly.
good curry.
Unfortunately, the way Britain used to work was hope that the newly discovered islands had idiots on, and we'd give them a
Yeah.
shiny penny to buy their whole island.
Wow, that's getting
Yeah,
real
that's
racist.
basically how it works. That's basically how it
That's
works.
so
Like,
racist.
That's literally how it works, and it's great because put it like this: they could never turn it into a video game. That type of thing. They tried.
No, you couldn't. You couldn't do.
I think it was the Pirates one.
Pillage and rape the game, like
basically, they tried like, and you couldn't really turn that into a game. But I would love to see someone try.
Polly want a cracker? Polly wants this cracker.
Oh.
Bang in the face.
Oh my god,
David, you need to be censored. You need someone else needs to edit this podcast because you need to be fucking censored.
It's not getting any edit. It's just gonna go raw.
Anyway,
I
100% believe.
Chris, what have you been playing? I'll be quiet for a bit.
Oh my god. Oh, this is great. He doesn't want to talk now. He's not going to say anything.
I'm trying to steer it back onto games. I've asked him what he's been playing.
He's not going to say it. You know what it is? Chris is smart. He's not going to say anything because he knows. He came back from making a sandwich and it would just turn from, oh, we were talking about games to like 5 seconds. 5 seconds later, racism. So, yeah. No. Chris is going to stay silent until
the funny thing is, I could edit this all together so it's like Chris is starting the conversations about it.
Oh my god, you know how to keep employees, that's what I'm going to say. You know how to keep employees around.
At least he's not crying. That's a step up.
Is the bigotry over?
Do you know what? You know what it is? I love.
I just don't want to take part in it.
And this is.
I've tried to ask you twice just what you've been playing, but you were out of the room.
This is just for David. This is just for David. I love the way every time you fuck up with one of the several members of this group, you always go back to that one moment where you made a teenage girl cry.
What?
When you made a small girl cry, you always go back to that moment, and I love it.
When did you make a small girl cry?
Oh my god! For everyone who got here and who hasn't been here for a long time, who hasn't heard us tell this story, I'm going to say it. And next time you hear David's voice, just remember this story. We had a group of twins. We had two girls. Yeah, they were twins.
A group of twins.
You know what I mean? I don't know what to call them.
A small posse of
and they look alike.
A whole
they were
room
two of
full
them
of
and they look alike. Okay, that's as close as I'm gonna get.
It's a pair.
And
it's a fucking pair of twins. You don't pick up a pair of shoes and be like, I have a grouping of shoes. It's two shoes.
Maybe you do. Maybe there's someone out there that does. Okay, just generalizing everyone. Jeez, but basically, we had these two girls. They were twins, and they were doing podcasts with us. And David, I just love your phrasing because you're like, we had two girls and we allowed them out of their cages once a week to do the podcast.
Right, Eddie. Before you go any further,
sometimes, yeah.
It wasn't me. It was 3 people on the team who said we should just record the podcast at a different day and not tell them.
One of those people was not me. I'm going to say that right now. One of those people was not me.
I will finish the story. I thought it was a bigger thing to do to actually call them not individually, but call them together apart from the rest of the team and say the other team members are not happy with the inappropriate behaviour that they've been showing, and 3 members of the team have wanted me to not contact them again and not invite them back on. But they've been a member of the team for a while, and I was willing to tell them what was happening, and so they get the chance to improve. I thought that was a big thing to sort of do. Unfortunately, one of them was crying, and it didn't go well.
Say what their grand defense was. What was the thing that they did wrong? Because this is great. This is where the story shines.
I don't know.
This is the part I don't get, because you're saying the other team members were so offended by what they were doing.
Basically,
This show was already filled with bigotry, racism, like
No.
inconsiderate, like sexism. Like, I don't know how worse could get.
what happened was they were both on Skype calls at different PCs, but they were in the same room. So once they'd finished talking and then someone else started, they wouldn't press the mute button, but they would talk to each other.
They would have conversations amongst themselves.
Are you fucking joking?
No.
Nope.
So
And-
no.
No, this is great.
No,
This is great. There's more.
No, that's
There's
but
also-
that's not worse than racism.
No, I'm not saying it
There's
is.
more. There's more.
I can't sack
There's
myself.
More. There's more. There's so much more. And this is actually the only part. This is the only other part. They also would turn every conversation into a conversation about Final Fantasy.
Or
That was their
Pokemon.
grand defense.
Or Pokemon.
Or Pokemon. That was
Well,
their
anime-
grand defense.
anime, basically.
Oh my god. It's just okay. Again, I want to just clear out one thing. I said not to do that. I said it was a bad idea. Let's just talk to them about it. No need to mention, no one wanting them back. That was just a bad idea. I was not part of the group of people that said, hey, let's not ever invite them back and hide the fact that we have a podcast. Let's just pretend to close down the website.
How old were these
No.
twins? This grouping of twins?
I think they were 17, just turned 18.
So hang on.
They were kids.
So we will sit here and just ridicule nationalities and countries and say cracker jokes. But
Yeah.
a couple of 17-year-olds talk about Pokemon and you get your pitchforks out.
I hate Pokemon.
Fucking hell.
Do you see what I'm saying?
This is why I just
Do you
go and
see
leave and
why?
make sandwiches and shit. Like,
Do you see why? Do you see why I said that it was a bad idea? I said it. I want to put that out there. I want.
all
it to
right,
be
you know what?
front
You know
and
what?
center.
I'm going to stop this right now. So, David, this week, what have I been playing?
Please.
I've been playing a fuckload of shit, to be honest. All of which has nothing to do with racism. I played
Try
it.
hard enough, you'll
To be
find it.
honest,
What's in that sandwich?
I lied. It's not a sandwich. It's a pie. But you guys don't understand what
Ooh,
pies are.
what's a pie?
Oh, is it,
Steak and
are you the
cheese.
type of? Okay, good. Yeah, I was gonna say. I thought I was hoping that you guys went like the Americans.
No,
And
no,
for
we
some
don't do
reason they
sweet
call pie-
pies.
They
Yeah,
call cakes. They
Yeah.
call cakes pie.
yeah, exactly.
The fuck?
It's fucked up. It's not right. That's some racism I can get behind. I've been playing. I don't know. I've played a few games recently, all of which were really bad. Some of which were good. So not all of which. Anyway, I played No Man's Sky. I fucking hated that so much.
Right.
Just because, I went into it and I went into it, we've been over this. I had low as expectations. I was thinking I'll go into different worlds, maybe I'll scan some creatures, that'll be sick. The graphics will look nice. David, so you don't know this about me, Eddie. Fucking David and George have mocked the shit out of me for being a graphics whore. Hold on.
So you're one of those guys that's like, if there's clipping issues, someone has to die.
Don't play the Sega Saturn then.
Hold on. I'm just gonna leave for a minute to just go and sort something out. I'm not gonna kill anyone or anything, but you guys just entertain yourselves, and then I'm gonna come and tell you what I've been playing. I'll be back soon. Bye.
I think he remembered all the graphical issues that No Man's Sky had, and I think he's going to do his hourly search for Sean Murray.
So I guess I will take up the mantle then. I have been playing a couple of games. The first one I'll just briefly talk about. It's called Giant Machines 2017.
Okay, explain.
It's one of these games that's bad, but they're fun to play. Basically, on the first level, you have to get into a little tiny battery-powered sort of little jeep thing. Something similar to what... Do you know when you're at the airport and you go... Someone takes your luggage and it's in those little tiny carts? It looked like that, and you got to drive to like a big machine, and it's like a massive 100-foot crane or whatever, and you got to climb all the way to the top of it to turn it on, climb all the way back down to turn the levers and that.
What game is this?
Giant Machines 2017.
That is such a bad name.
It's such a bad game, but it's one of those, as I was saying, do you know those really awful, simple games, but they're actually quite fun in a really bad way?
Is this what you've been playing this week, David?
Yes.
You've been playing Giant Crane Simulator 1999.
No. Giant Machines. You get cranes, you get big, massive... Looks like a pickup...
You can't even finish that.
Digger.
You can't even finish that sentence. You're like, you get cranes and...
I was trying... we don't have boxes anymore to look at the things.
Can we just address one thing?
Yep.
Why is it just a bunch of games are coming out that are basically just real world things that you can do in the real world, but if you don't want to do them in the real world, you can do them on the computer?
Because YouTubers need something to play, so they're like, hey, look, I mean, like, I fucking can't go outside, but I mean, look at me, I've got Going Outside Simulator, so I mean, hey, what, do you want to watch me go outside?
On the email that I got, it did say it's been a massive sensation over Twitch sort of streamers.
But why?
Because
But I don't
people are sad
understand.
and want to see sad, funny
it's
things.
like people watch videos. There's like massive markets for people who just eat food on YouTube, and people watch them eat that food.
That I can understand because there's cooking shows, for God's sake. You're watching someone make food. You're not making. No one actually. There are very few people that watch cooking shows and are like, I'm gonna make that at the exact same time.
I've just had an idea,
Do you guys have My Kitchen Rules?
Before we go any further, I've had an
Wait,
idea.
what?
Do you guys have My Kitchen Rules?
I've had an idea.
I
I'll
don't
mute
think so.
you two twats.
I love My Kitchen Rules so much. Like, it's such a good cooking show.
My
Sod you.
Kitchen
Going
Rules.
home.
What the hell?
I watched the Australian one though, not the New Zealand. The New Zealand one's shit, but the Australian one's really good.
Oh shit, there's a UK version.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good show.
Oh, I'll be damned.
It's a good show.
Huh.
It's good.
Alright,
It's like the only
cool.
cooking show. I'm like, oh, it's actually really cool.
Anyone want to know my idea? It's not racist.
If it's racist, has anything to do
It's
with
not.
Dino Dini or Sega
No.
Rally
No.
or bigotry
Nope.
or cranes.
Nope.
Or David Hare.
David Hare?
What's his name again?
John
Hare.
Hare.
That's it.
No. My idea is set up a new YouTube channel and
Right.
we'll rank how easy things are to eat without using your hands. So you got to actually try to eat the food with just using your...
I feel like you're giving up
lean
on
over
life,
the
David.
bowl.
I feel like you're giving up on life and you're just trying to find a reason to live. And
You know what's
Like,
sad?
we're here for you.
Though? That could actually work. That could actually work. That's what's sad, because people would actually watch that.
you know, there's a YouTube
People
channel
would
that has
watch
hundreds
that.
of thousands of subscribers, and the YouTube channel is literally called Dropping Things, and they just take a different item each day and film themselves dropping it. Like, so it's literally just like dropping a sock. It's just a video of someone like letting go of a sock from their hand and it hitting the floor.
But is
That's
it
the
like
video.
done
It's like,
in the ultra slow motion thing?
no, it's like on a phone. It's like 8 seconds. Someone drops a sock. That's the video for the day, and it's just like, and they get all these views because people think it's hilarious just to be like dropping stuff, and they just go through. It's like within like about 8 minutes, like you've gone through the entire channel's videos because they're all like 6 seconds each, just dropping a sock, dropping a piece of string, dropping a piece of hair, dropping a t-shirt.
I'm just so confused.
So does
right
any
now.
of you guys know why certain games don't work with the open broadcast software?
They don't like it.
No, because
I have
I
no
was going to
idea.
record some video of the giant machines because I thought it's quite funny, but it recorded the sound perfect, but the video it kept just freezing and stuttering.
Oh no, it might be the software.
You know, so,
Yeah,
unless it's
probably.
it might be still early access, so it's not optimized fully, but I don't know. Anyway,
Hey, do you guys want to know? Do you guys want to know what I've been playing this week?
I'll go on then. Might as well.
Oh, go on then. I mean, this isn't like a fucking gaming podcast or something or whatever. So I played No Man's Sky, which we've talked about a bit. It's just boring. Like, I get all these survival simulators and stuff, like where you go and you chop down a tree for a bit and you build yourself a house out of that tree, and then you go and you set traps and stuff at night, or like you do shit like that. Like, I understand those survival games. You need a campfire to keep yourself warm. No Man's Sky is just like, you need to fly into space, so go just laser beam shit and then absorb it into your body, and then don't have enough slots to do anything with it, but then you go into space, and then you'll get into space, and then you'll realize you don't want to be in space. And drive for like 8 minutes to another planet, and then just drive your ship. And then like, it's just like, I'm just gonna be frank, like, I don't even want to go into detail, like, it's just a shit game. It's not good.
I mean, to me, the best thing about it was
It ended.
I really don't like the survival simulation sort of games. And for me, it hit that balance where it had elements of it, but it was so basic you didn't really need to worry about it.
Exactly, though, and that just ruins the point. It's like, I'm not a big survival guy either, but if I want to play a survival game, I want to play a survival game. I don't want to just not have enough slots for anything, but nothing matters. It was just like, oh, you're really hot, you're getting hot, and then I was like, shot a rock, and then I was like, well, I'm not hot anymore. It's like, I was like, that's fucking dumb. And then there was this animal running by, and then I shot it. And then this robot came up to me and was like, don't shoot shit, so I shot the robot. And then I just walked over a hill, and all the robots forgot I was even alive. I was like, this is terrible. This is terrible.
There are no consequences for my actions.
Yeah, it's just, there was no purpose to, like, anything. Like, if, like, the fact that I was like, because a lot of survival games don't have a lot of purpose of, like, here is a story driving you forward. And that's because, like, the moment-to-moment survival is kind of the key. But when the moment-to-moment survival, like, doesn't matter at all, then you kind of need some kind of purpose in your story. And there's nothing like that. And I think I found out the ending to the game, which apparently it takes, like, over 50 hours to kind of get to. And I was like,
you can get through it in about 25.
Still, that's not worth it. That's 25 hours of my life. I'd rather be like fucking grating my face against like concrete. That's how much I didn't like.
Isn't
this game.
the end? Isn't the end of the game?
We don't want to say what the end of the game
Well, we
is.
could just we'll just do spoiler alert. Jump through a minute.
Put it like this.
Go forward a minute.
Put it like this.
Go
okay?
forward a minute. Spoiler going now. What's the end of the game?
The end of the game is basically when you end the game, you get to the center of the universe, it sends you back to the beginning of the game.
Exactly. That's
You
so
start-
shit.
You start the game.
Technically,
Okay, technically it's not the beginning of the game, but you start the game as if you had started the game from the beginning. You keep all your things, all your advancements, everything else, but they're all broken and you must fix them again.
That's so
technically,
bad.
it creates a whole new universe for you to play through.
It doesn't.
But there's
though.
nothing to
Like,
do with it.
But that's the thing. That's the thing. It really doesn't, because what people misunderstand about procedural generation is that procedural generation is not hard to make. You basically give a computer an algorithm and say you can choose from these things, make something. That's not hard. That doesn't take any skill whatsoever.
Exactly.
That takes like
no. Here's the key thing here.
one
Here's the key
college
thing here.
course.
Here's the key thing here. No Man's Sky is built around maths.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Maths always let me down in high school. And it's let me down again.
You know
Never
what it is?
trust maths.
It's built around maths. It's built around simple maths.
Just ignore maths. Like, never use maths in your life and you'll be fine.
Do you know what it is? And it's like another thing with this game. It was supposed to be the thing that showed everyone procedural generated games are great.
It did
And
not.
you can make really good procedural generated games that are like dungeon crawlers or hack and slash. You can make those really good games. But using this game as an example is a terrible idea.
It is.
It's a terrible
It is.
idea.
It is. And so, No Man's Sky, One Up Gaming.
I mean, I don't
final
know about
score
you, Chris.
0.5 out of 10.
I don't know about you, Chris.
Yes.
I honestly feel
It's like saying my name. so
Sony
listen.
should be held a little bit more accountable than what they have been.
Oh no, I think
for that
everyone
game.
should be held accountable. I think Sony should be. I think Hello Games should be, and I think the journalists who kind of like push this to consumers as, look at this mind-blowing experience, and then we got it, and then they were like, yeah, that's pretty shit, eh?
I tell you what, Chris, you might not believe this, but 2 years ago, whenever it was, tried to find a podcast when the E3, whatever it was, when it was announced. Everyone else on the team was saying, oh my god, and I was like, it doesn't look that good.
No. It did look good. It did.
I didn't think it
literally
did.
looked like it had like a Jurassic Park moment when you walk out into the forest and there's these giant dinosaurs and there's all these animals running around and there's like water environments and there's a forest and it was like a.
They should have licensed that music, shouldn't they? That'd have made the game amazing.
You know, like, it was that kind of moment, and then you get to the game, and then you, like, walk out, and it's like... Like, all the animals look like they
Just
have, like,
slowly
some form
dies.
of, like... Like, every animal looks like it somehow, like... Because they act like they all have some kind of mental illness, because they all just walk in a circle, and they're just like, I don't know what my purpose is to living.
But that's the thing, though. And this, again, is the problem with this game. It was built lazily.
Yeah, because that's the
was
thing, like,
built-
they gave off the idea, like, they talked about things that weren't going to be there. They talked about, like, how different planets would have different types of gravity. Like, there would be, like,
that's the
literal...
big thing I
Yeah,
said.
there'd be, like, literal rotations to the planet. They talked about how there would be planets that were, like, deserts, and other planets would be forests, and other planets would be, like, all underwater. Whereas, like, all I've seen is the same rocky terrain with, like, rocks on it all the time. They promised that there'd be, like... amazing space combat, and like they showed like all these ships warping into kind of like in front of you while you're flying. I've never seen more than one ship like lazily flowing through the sky. Like it's just shit. And then they make the whole thing like, oh, it's so cool, you get to explore. Like I would like jump in my ship, turn it on, and it'll be like, oh, you've used like half your fuel, and I'd be like, oh, for fuck's sake, I'm gonna go laser beam some more shit.
But that's the thing. Like, what they could have done... And I don't know if you know what this game about this game. It's called Universe Sandbox.
No.
And basically,
I wonder.
Universe Sandbox is basically allows you to make any scenario that you can think of using any type of astronomy, like planets, stars, comets, asteroids, whatever the bloody hell you want. You can make two planets crash into each other. You can look at what happened. You can like put, oh yeah, there's a sun here, and for some reason there's like a giant planet over here and this little one that kind of looks like it's moon but it's not, and see what happens when they all collide.
Yeah.
You can do random shit. They could have done that type of thing.
Yeah.
They could have made it more of a simulation, more of a each planet is a different simulation. Instead of doing that, they went for quantity instead of quality.
Exactly.
And that's why everyone's
what you go back
pissed
to. Because I do not care about how many planets there are. Because the thing is as well, it's not the thing about the fact that there's so many planets that like you can go to all these planets. It's not even that I can go and explore them all, because it uses up so much fuel and so much time to traverse from planet to planet that you actually want to like explore the minimum that there actually are. Like you don't want to explore the maximum number of planets because it's actually like illogical to do so, because you don't have enough slots to store enough fuel to do that, and you don't have enough like fucking fuel to be able to even go and look.
Get a bit more slots.
But that's such a boring process. It's just like make something smaller, but that actually is more dense, that has more going on.
And that's the thing. The game is a grind, and you're grinding to nothing.
Yeah.
It's like a game with no end game.
Yeah, exactly.
To be fair, all games are nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though.
Yeah, but like
When
they
you're
make
playing
you.
WoW,
But if they can trick you into thinking that you're working towards something, even if it's trivial, No Man's Sky didn't do that.
Look at Mass Effect.
But
you enjoy the narrative.
Games
Like,
going
here's the thing.
through,
No,
then
here's
the
the thing.
end, and then everyone kicks off.
But
It's
here's
not
the
the
thing.
ending they wanted.
But here's the thing: the narrative getting to that ending was fun. Like No Man's Sky, the grind isn't fun. Like I played The Division. The Division is a fucking grind. Like it's such a grind. But I enjoyed the grind. Whereas in No Man's Sky, it was just boring.
Because it was a grind to nothing. There was you changed nothing. You impacted.
exactly,
You impacted the universe in no way. You impacted the world you went on in no
It's
way.
like-
Because you're supposed to be the first person to stand on those planets, and yet those planets teach you alien languages. They have monoliths.
Yeah,
on
they've
them.
got like
They
space
have-
stations all over them.
Like they have small settlements on them. You didn't discover shit.
Yeah, you're just
That
some
doesn't
dude.
make sense.
Eddie, Chris,
David.
let's move on.
Okay, so another game that I really fucking hated that I played this week. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's called Styx Master of Shadows.
Did you hear
Yeah.
that?
I did. This is why.
I quite enjoyed it from
I
like
was-
a PS2 sort of designed game.
Yeah. So I played it on PS4. It was like a PS Plus free game from ages ago. I decided I played No Man's Sky. I was really fucked off. I wanted to play something that was kind of stealthy. So I thought I'd pick this up. And you play as this little goblin dude.
Yeah.
And there's like this tree of amber or something. And it gives people powers and stuff like that. Like you have powers to like duplicate yourself, make clones, or go invisible because of this amber. And for whatever reason, you've forgotten who you are and you're like trying to get to this tree. I'm playing the game. I thought the stealth sections were fun. Like the sneaking is fun. The, knocking people out is fun. And there's one aspect of the game that completely ruined it for me. The fighting. The having to parry
really?
people. Because there's this weird fighting system. I've never played anything really like it. Where it's like, the moment you get caught, it's even worse. Because I hate stealth games. Like, this is why I like the kind of more modern stealth game where it's like, you be stealthy, and if you get caught, it's like shit. You either have to like hide and run away, or you have to kind of go in guns blazing. But there always is another option after you get caught. I hate the stealth games that are basically like the moment someone like turns around and sees you, game over, restart the whole section. And this had that, but worse, because every time you got caught, there was like no way to get out of it, but you entered into this combat scenario. And even though you're like holding this dagger and the person in front of you is not moving, you can't just slash at them and kill them. Like you can't just kill them. Like they're standing right in front of you, they're not defending themselves, and you can't kill them. You have to wait for them to try and hit you, and then parry it, and then hit a button in time to kill them. It was like a quick time event. But it's timed so poorly that like when they're throwing the attack, I try to parry it, and I just miss it every time, and then I die within one hit. I was like one hit killed every time. So it was like, it wasn't even teaching me to parry properly because I just get killed straight away.
How far into the game did you get?
2-3 hours?
I only played it for about 2 or 3 hours, but I quite enjoyed it. It was a low budget game, you could tell.
Yeah.
But I quite enjoyed what I played.
No,
I
enjoyed,
can't remember nothing about it. But
yeah, I enjoyed everything except this parrying system and the basic point of the fact that it was like I'd wait so long. I would like bide my time. I would like be stealthy. I'd spend ages waiting behind like one wall for the guard to like move from his position, and then I'd get seen once, have to do the stupid fucking parry system fighting. And then I'd go all the way back to the start of the mission because I couldn't parry in time, and then got one hit killed. Like, so I played like 2 hours, 3 hours, and I was just like, nah, can't do it. This is too shit. Like, ugh.
Well, there's some good news. There's a sequel that's been announced.
Yep, there's a sequel. Okay, and then the last thing, I've got one other game I played this week that I actually do have positive things to say about. My brother's been on like his school holidays at the moment. He's 15, and he was like, "Oh, let's find a game we can play together." And there's like, in this day of like PS4 and Xbox One, there's very few games that like you can play kind of couch co-op. Like, basically everything has kind of moved towards the online, play with your friends online. They've got to have a PS4, you've got to have a PS4, play online.
Couch co-op.
Yeah, but that hasn't been out yet. So,
Alright, sorry.
right, yeah, like, solid point there, Chris.
I've got it, but
Yeah. So we were sitting there, and I was like going through my PS4 games, like, because I've got a shitload of PS Plus games I haven't touched. And I was like, what haven't I played that's couch co-op? So I tried Lara Croft and the Temple of Osiris, which is
I played the first one, and I didn't like it, but everyone loved it.
Yeah, no, I thought it was great. It's like this.
Do you like Diablo and that sort of game?
No, I'm not into that kind of stuff.
I hate Diablo.
Yeah, no, I'm not into that kind of stuff at all. It's like, so it's this Lara Croft and the Temple of Osiris is by Crystal Dynamics, so the people who made like the Tomb Raider and Rise of the Tomb Raider reboots.
But it's like a
which I
top-down
found really
overhead
interesting.
view.
But it's like top-down isometric. It feels more like a small indie game, and basically the whole game, like there's kind of twin-stick shooter combat. Like, you're basically... It's got a really dumb story. It's like, you're Lara Croft. Like, Lara Croft is not fazed by any of the shit that happens in this game. Like, these, 3,000-year-old, Egyptian people come up to her. They're like, so we're basically gods, and you set forth, the evil god, Set. He's going to kill everyone. And Lara Croft's like, oh, no. Well, that's going to be fairly bad. And it's like, you'll go through and, there'll be giant crocodiles shooting electricity at you, and you're like, oh, a crocodile. I've read about those. So the dialogue is just fucking hilariously shit. But the minute-to-minute gameplay is it's a puzzle game. But it's I've played so many puzzle games and been bored by them because I'm solving a puzzle for the purpose of solving a puzzle. All you do is solve a puzzle to go to the next room. But for some reason, in this, I felt like every puzzle, and as well doing it in co-op, they really nailed the kind of getting you and the person you're playing with to work together and use the different abilities you have. Because my brother was playing as one of the Egyptian gods who kind of have these telekinesis abilities and they can create shields. And then I'm playing as Lara Croft, who has a grappling hook and a torch and pistols and stuff. So you kind of have to use each other's abilities to kind of solve the puzzles, which is fun then working alongside someone sitting next to you to do that. And then they have these boss battles, and the boss battles are puzzles as well. And so they get really, really creative in actually how you take down these bosses. So, I mean, I actually thought it was, for a simple game, it was only 5 hours long, but it was really fun. I had a blast playing it, and it was, funny at sometimes because of the weird dialogue, but it was also the puzzles were always challenging enough to be interesting, but I never once was oh, that was so hard, I don't know how I worked that out. So, I mean, yeah, so I played that, really enjoyed that, beat that, and then, as I've kind of already gone into detail on, jumped into Mafia 3, and I've been playing that since.
Cool.
See, do you see how I did that section? I didn't once say, cracker, or any racist stuff, David.
Cracker?
You just did.
No,
so you failed.
I was bringing up the cracker as in the biscuit.
Ah.
So
Okay.
what? You have a thing against
It's not a
biscuits now?
biscuit.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. I don't know how to explain a cracker to British people. How would you explain a cracker?
It's a savoury
It's a biscuit.
snack.
It's not savoury.
It's like a small
It is.
crisp thing.
Yeah, it's like
like a-
crisp
it's-
thing. That's what you'd call it, a crisp thing.
It's like a small, crisp thing. I don't understand.
It's
what
very
the thing is. It's like
bland.
a tiny biscuit. It's like a tiny. It's like
That's
a
what I
tiny
said. I
biscuit
said a
with no
biscuit.
flavor.
And you were like, biscuit.
Tiny square biscuit.
Anyway. I can
Hungry
actually talk
has no
about
flavour.
Maximum Car this week.
What?
Maximum Car.
Oh God.
It's made by the developers I Fight Bears,
Right.
who everyone knows Nicole Hunt.
For those of us who don't, for us uneducated few,
He
Who
did a
is that?
Kickstarter for a game called Fist of Awesome.
oh
Wait.
right, the one where you punch the bear.
Yes.
That's probably why their name is what it is.
And he's teamed up with another studio. I can't remember what it's called. It's something like Chalk and Cheese or Cheese Studios, something stupid. Do you know what? To be factually
Tea and
correct,
cheese.
yes. I was just gonna
Yeah.
load up the game just to get the intro. But
Oh no, I'm just watching the trailer right now. Go on.
so basically, Maximum Car is a mobile version of what they think is the greatest racing game ever, and that is Burnout.
That is probably
I
a
will-
great racing game.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that highly.
I mean, I think the
And-
greatest racing game ever is Rally Championship, but whatever.
That's a lot.
Sega Rally.
No, Rally,
Rally 95.
Rally Championship on the PlayStation 2 was a pretty fun game.
Not better than.
No, I think
not better
I
than
think
Burnout,
actually no.
though.
Rally Championship's great. Jack X as a kart racer is fucking great. But I think the best racing game I've ever played was what's it? What's the game?
Maximum Car.
No, something Apocalypse.
Mad Max.
No. It's a racer. It's a racing game. It's something Apocalypse. What was the PS3
I know
kind
what
of
you mean.
exclusive?
I know what you mean. Motorstorm.
Motorstorm, yeah. Motorstorm
Yeah,
Apocalypse. I love that game.
I never played Apocalypse. I just played the first two. While I thought
Apocalypse
they
is
looked
fucking
amazing,
great.
they were just too hard for me.
No, Apocalypse is fucking great.
Anyway, getting back to Maximum Car, they took inspiration from Burnout, but they added their own style to it. It's very... Is it voxel graphics that all these... Like the Minecraft...
It's very
that
Minecraft-esque.
uses? So all the cars
Yeah.
are very blocky and basic.
I
And
hate that.
it's fun. It keeps the speed up, and the frame rate's a little bit iffy on my phone, but mine's iPhone 6 Plus, so it's a couple of years old. But still, you'd expect for something that looks that basic, it'd run quite smooth, but it doesn't. It's got the same mechanic where if you're driving on the lane where you're going towards traffic, you build up score. If you do near misses, you build up score. And you actually tap left and right on the side of the screen to turn left and right. And you build up a turbo, so you swipe up on the right hand side to initiate the turbo boost. And you also have a missile, and you swipe up on the left hand side of the screen to fire the missile. And basically, you are, say, 10th at the start of each race. And as you're racing through, you shoot missiles to blow up the other cars. You have to destroy a certain amount of cars. Say, like, you have to hit one car 15 times, but you can only do it once per race. So you have to do the same race 15 times, or, like, destroy that car within 15 different races before you can have the chance to buy that car. So it's very mobile, sort of like game where you have to... And then it's also got the stupid thing where it's a free-to-play game. So if you play the game too much, it says, would you like to unlock coins? It's only 79p to carry on playing. Which I don't like, that sort of thing.
So it's like arcade.
Oh yeah, it's a very arcadey game. But I would say charge $2.99, £2, and then that's it. That'd be perfect. But the game plays nicely, it looks nice, the sound effects are nice. The tracks aren't very good, it's just literally like an outrun sort of game where it's like a straight road with the odd weavy bits to go around. Oh, you can also do drifts, so that's quite fun. But I've played it for a good 2-3 weeks now, maybe even like a month. Can't remember when I got the code. But yeah, I've been playing that for a while. I'm halfway through writing a review. As you can tell, it's not a glowing review, but it is a fun game to play, and it's free. What more can you ask, really? I don't know about you guys, but most games on mobile I sort of download, play them for like half an hour, then I just delete them.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
So
Yeah, kind of.
whereas this one, it's kept me occupied for a good 2 weeks, so it's not too bad. The last game that I've played is FIFA 17. So I think you two guys don't really care about the FIFAs.
Actually, well, this FIFA's got me intrigued because of the story mode.
I
played FIFA
So
14.
they're kind of taking what they got from NBA.
I bought
got
it,
stuff for-
for the story mode.
Exactly. So how is it? How is the story mode exactly? Like, what would you recommend it? Is what
I
I'm trying to say.
enjoyed it because it's like you watch a 2-5-minute little bit, like where the character's talking, doing stuff, and then you do training, then you do a match.
Right.
Oh god, what the hell? But
What was
yeah,
that?
I don't know. I think Eddie was playing something.
Nope.
Ah, okay.
What the fuck?
I have no idea.
The funny thing is that won't be recorded, I don't think, unless someone else's microphone picked it up.
Crazy.
Wonderful.
Yeah, but yeah, seems a good game. I chose to be Liverpool. I was playing games. I was on the bench, coming on for the last 10 minutes, 20 minutes per game. I was the leading goal scorer in the Premiership. Then they bought Harry Kane, and then they loaned me out to... You had the choice of a few Championship clubs, so I went to Newcastle, my team.
Yeah.
And it was like, the commentator was quite good. It's like, oh, he's making his debut for Newcastle. it's a shame he was the leading goal scorer in the Premiership, but that's what some teams do, and it's just like, why the hell would you be like the leading goal scorer in the Premiership? Why would they just suddenly loan you out? You know, if you're doing that well, then it's... But yeah, there's some weird things in the game, but it feels good. It actually feels a lot better than last year's game. I hated last year's game with a passion. But that is all I have been playing, guys. So, before we go, I would just like to mention our album is out. It's
Wait, hold on, we have an album?
Have you not getting any of the emails or nothing?
I haven't checked my emails in like weeks.
Yeah, so the album is out. It's $5.99 on iTunes or Google Play.
Sick.
But it is now out. Games-inspired music, that is what it's called.
Oh,
It's got 26 bits of music. Our good friend Conte the Hero, who's an American rapper we interviewed years ago, I put the video up on YouTube, and within about 2 weeks we've got like 26,000 views. He's graciously made and given us the intro to the album. You know, he made the song free of charge for us. John Hayes allowed us to use his goal-scoring superstar hero from Sensible Soccer on the album. So we've got a few bits and bobs on there, which is quite fun. Lastly, I would like to mention 20% of the all album sales will be going to the Child's Play charity.
Oh, sick.
So please buy it, even if you don't want to listen to it. Buy it. It's only $5.99, and we'll be giving 20% straight to the Child's Play charity.
Cool.
So guys, I know we're very late in doing this. It's episode 174. Me, David, Eddie and Chris.
Chris and Eddie.
Alright, and Chris and Eddie.
Nope, no. Eddie and Chris, I was here
Yeah,
first.
Chris and Eddie. Yeah, but you've been gone too long.
Seniority.
You've been gone too long, my friend.
Seniority.
Youth has... How old are you?
I'm 20, man.
Youth has risen up. When did you turn 20?
I turned 20 like last year. I'm turning 21.
The
in
youth
February.
has risen up to usurp the older age group.
Wait, how old are
20.
you? Damn it.
But I'm only just 20. So the youth has risen to
God damn it.
usurp the older...
I'm 15
Older.
years older than you two.
Wait, what? How old are you?
I'm 35.
Oh, I thought you said I am
Yep.
58 years older than you. I was like, holy shit. I didn't know David was in his
Back in my
60s.
day when they had black and white TVs.
Oh,
Wait, what?
fuck. I was like,
Oh my God.
"Ugh, have I been like talking to a 60-year-old man each week? That's a bit freaky.
70s. He would
Oh,
be
yeah,
in his
70s.
70s. Look at this young generation not knowing their numbers. Jesus.
No, it's No Man's Sky's
Kids
fault. No
nowadays,
Man's Sky
man.
made me hate numbers.
No Man's Sky made me stupid. It's not my fault. I know one kid used that. There has to be one child that has used that in school at least once. At least once.
Yeah, they're just like, what's the answer to this? It's like infinity, infinite planets. And the teacher's like, wait, what? And it's like infinite planets is the
18
answer to anything.
quintillion.
18 quintillion. What's 5 plus 4? 18 quintillion options, miss. That's not the correct answer. No, it's the answer to everything.
Anyway,
Fuck graphics.
it's been the
Fuck
What's Gaming
gameplay.
team
18
saying thank you all for
quintillion.
listening. I'm just going to talk right over you.
18 quintillion. 18 quintillion planets.
And we'll be back next week. Thank you. Goodbye. Say goodbye,
We
guys.
might be back.
Yeah, some of us might be back. The youth will have probably usurped the older generations, and I'll be back as your host next week. Goodbye.
Yeah. Obviously, I'll be back because, I was here first. But yeah.
First, the worst.
Just want to put that
Second, the best. Third, the golden eagle.
No, not at all. Second is the first
Has
loser.
this ended
so don't
yet?
worry
Has
about
this
that.
ended?
Hey guys, Justin here. I just wanted to say that I've been thinking about you. I've been thinking about you a lot. Yes, you in particular. In that way. And I wanted to say, I think you're great. I've always said that about you. And I was wondering, if you think we're great, if you could give us a quick rating on iTunes, we'd really appreciate it. It would really, really help us out in that, podcasty sort of way. And if you're feeling particularly festive, perhaps even a little saucy, maybe stop by our Patreon page at www.patreon.com/OUG and see if you can't slip a few bucks our way. After all, every little penny or whatever space money they use in Europe helps out the show. Thanks for listening. OUG Gaming will always be free, but with your support, we can always move forward and always be better.